BW Businessworld, and welcome to the Indian Business Literature Festival, where business meets wisdom. Today I have with me Rakesh Dewan, the author of the book, Take the Chance. Thank you, Mr. Dewan, for joining me today. My first question to you is, because it's on the cover of your page, saying yes, even when you have the instinct to say no. So why do you think people have the strong instinct to say no? And has it changed from generation to generation?
All right, so this instinct to say no instead of saying yes is basically a comfort zone phenomenon, right? People are in their comfort zone, they prefer to, like to be safe, so to say. Every time you step out of your comfort zone, there is a lot of discomfort for the individual because you're not used to that area, or you're taking risks. So definitely it is not this generation. For me, it's this is where the thought stream runs for people, and it doesn't matter what age group. It's not about being young or being old, etc. To be in the comfort zone is a natural instinct, and therefore people miss out many opportunities in life because they don't step out.
Yeah, and can you tell me about any kind of incident or key moments that kind of inspired you to go forward with a book like this?
I guess my life. I've had many life experiences which have taught me that being in the safety and being out in comfort zone or outside comfort zone, there's a huge difference. So I'll give you one example. One of the chapters in the book, and even otherwise from my life, is the saying yes. One of the saying yes is saying yes to adversity, saying yes to failure, etc. It's not only on the positive side, it's on the way what life throws at you and how you react to it. So it was my birthday next day, and I got a call from my plant. We are also in manufacturing and businesses. This is one dimension of my life, but there are others. So he rang me up and saying, "Sir, we are finished." This is about 15 years ago. So I looked at him and then spoke on the phone. I said, "What do you mean we are finished?" He said, "Well, sir, there's been a fire and the whole factory has crumbled down. 3 floors, completely crumbled down, large factory, everything gone." So I said, it was instinctive, right? So I said, "We are not finished. The factory is burned down, that's it. So what is there to get so worried about? We are still there, we can still respond, we can change the situation. So good night, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. I'll come to, this is in Himachal Pradesh somewhere." I went there next morning, and I found like the whole thing had exploded, and fire still running as strongly, fire engines, the TV station, everybody, because it was an unusually strong catastrophe. So I said, "All right." Then they invited me to come inside the plant, and my team members joined. I must have taken exactly maybe 45 seconds, maybe a minute, no more than that. I looked at it, I realized that there was nothing that could be done there. I turned around and I called my entire team. Month of September, and season for, we make home appliances, so it was the season for that, and we were committed to a few customers. I turned around, I said, "Let's get to action. Forget this. What action can you get to?" So I said, in 3 days' time, I want a plant running again, and we will meet all our commitments regardless of what has happened. 3 days, how can your factory is burned down, there's no equipment, you don't have the resources, so how are you going to do it? I said, you lease a factory, you rent a factory, you get resources from wherever, you fly down parts, whatever you do, 3 days, not the 4th day. Long story short, my "I won't be defeated" was running in my mind. I'd read about it the last day before, and with that intention, or with that mindset, we started. That month, which was the fire burning month, was the month of the highest production in the history of our company. It was, it was amazing what willpower can do and what people's commitment can do. So things like that. This is one small example. There are innumerable examples in my life of how hanging on and taking a positive view has turned this situation 360, 180 degrees around. And when you are like that, then of course the team follows. So it's automatic, it's infectious. Positivity is.
Absolutely, and I like that message that it's not just saying yes to new circumstances, but also accepting what's ahead of you. So yes, the factory has burned down. Yes, we have commitments to our clients, and yes, we have to sort of move forward.
Yeah, and yes, that even if we move forward, we might fail. It's not as if there's any guarantee that you will be successful, but not being defeated is victory.
Right. It's not the falling down, it's the getting back up.
And remaining up through whatever life throws at you. And sooner than later, that practice of innovative thinking automatically comes in, because something must change, and the thing that can change is our thoughts, our mind, our attitude. Yes.
The only thing we have control over. I think that's a quote you had in the book too by
No, it
Descartes.
is. It's indeed ultimately about taking control and not being habitual in your response. Yeah. Coming out with a response which is different, and then of course you will get a different result.
Absolutely. And you, speaking of which, you have a lot of small sayings throughout your books by people I imagine who have inspired you. Harrison Ford is there, some your philosophers there. What made you want to include that? Because even when you were speaking now, you were remembering some quote or some sayings that you had heard before.
No, because ultimately our thoughts are fashioned by the influences in our life, which includes famous, not famous, etc. people. But your richness increases when you do. So for me, sometimes a single quote is enough to inspire you. You don't need a gyan. You don't need a whole lot of stuff. It's for us to activate our brain and keep listening to the environment and see what resonates with us, and then start moving. So if we action it, then it has value.
Absolutely. One more question I want to ask you. If obviously there's so many stories in your book, but if there is only one or two things someone can take away from your book, what would you want it to be? What sentiment would you want them to leave with?
That again is from a quote, which would be that it's not the years in your life that matter, it's the life in your years. So not to worry too much about whether I'm going to live 80, 90, 100 or whatever. That obviously is desirable, for most people. But the other part, how much life is there in in your years? So I spend time, you spend time, all of us are living, but some of us are going to use that to enhance our life, expand our life, and some it's day after day, it's morning, evening, night, lunch, dinner, so on, a Maruti to Mercedes, etc. So to really understand that this opportunity, when people say life is short, I'm saying that first quote, which is to check for yourself how much life is there in your years right now. That is one of the central thoughts of opening up to life and experiencing life in its fullness, not about career success only, certainly not. I find people who are over-focused on the word success. Normally they're talking about financial success or career success or something like that. To get away from that and relook life and say, all right, if life is short, which we know it is, then am I doing justice to it? I got born. Either you can stick with the fact and that I know that I will die, so just travel the years in between, or add value every day. So taking the chances about that, taking the chances that move you to fulfillment.
And I think you've gotten the message across very, very clearly in your book. One more thing, do you have any other kind of books in work? Do you plan on writing again? Will we be hearing more from you?
Yeah, the second book is already out, actually,
perfect.
As I speak to you. It's published under printing right now, and it's on parenting, which is a totally different area, but then I've always believed in experimenting and trying and exploring whatever I'm interested in. So books will certainly follow. It's book time for me. A lot of people have given up on books, but thank you for saying that.
Okay. And thank you for joining us today. And I hope you have a great day ahead of you and enjoy the festival that we have put together.
I'm sure I will.
Thank you.